students, good afternoon. Students in grade 9, welcome to our seminar for today, in which we are going to cover Unit 7 and Unit 8. Well, dear students, dear colleagues, as you know, in Unit 7 and Unit 8 we have a number of grammatical skills. The first skill, of course, is the conditionals. We are going to try to explain the conditionals. The two types, of course, type 1 and type 2, the form of conditionals in English. Also, we can talk about some linking words. After that, we can talk about some text, some important text in Unit 7 and Unit 8, both in the activity book and in the student's book. Dear students, dear colleagues, let me first welcome my colleagues in the studio who are going to participate me for today. Miss Lama Halloum, an English supervisor from Latakia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for coming, Miss Lama.
Thank you very much.
And Miss Fidan Muhammad, an English teacher from Damascus. Good afternoon, Miss Fidan.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for your participation. Well, dear students, as you know, in Unit 7, as I said, we have the conditionals, Miss Lama.
Yes.
When we talk about conditional sentences, of course we mean that it must start with an if clause, or it must contain two clauses. Of course, we can begin our sentence with the if clause, and we can begin our sentence with the result clause. Would you please give us an idea about the conditionals in general, and then we can talk about the two types with Ms. Fidan, please.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Of course, as we know, a sentence with if has an if clause and a main clause. We can give examples to explain that, to make it easier. Example, if I hear any news, I'll phone you. Or I can start, as you've said, by the second clause. For example, I can say, I'll phone you if I hear any news.
So, the first clause in red, in the example, if I hear any news, is called an if clause, because it begins with if.
Yes.
And the second one is called the result clause, I'll phone you. This is the main form. Of course, as you said, we can start our sentence with the result clause. So here, in this case, it's not necessary to use a comma.
No.
When we start our sentence with an if clause, we should
have to put a comma. Yes.
Good.
And talking about the types of these conditional sentences, there are three common verse patterns.
Yes.
We are going to talk about type 1, where we have if plus tense, simple tense. If example, we say, if we take a bus, it will be cheaper. It will be cheaper. So here we have present and will in the result clause. We have another type, which is type 2, when we use the past tense. For example, if we took a bus, it would be cheaper. And of course, we can change places, as we have mentioned before. And we have the third type, which is if we had taken a bus, it would have been cheaper. Here we have past perfect plus would plus have plus verb 3.
Good. Thanks, Ms. Lema. I'd like to add something here. Of course, dear students, you should know that we have, in general, 4 types of conditionals, in fact. We have the zero form. We didn't mention it because in English we can say that we have 3 main types. We didn't mention the zero conditionals because in both clauses we can use the zero form or the present simple. The zero form, that's it. When we talk about facts and or routine or habitual actions.
That's right.
But here, in grade 9, of course, what is required from the students is type 2 and type 1 and type 2. Type 3 is not required, but we felt that we should mention it because we are talking about English grammar. We should say that we have 3 types, 3 main types or common types of conditionals. Okay, what else? That's it. Now, Miss Fidan.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Lama. We can talk about type 2, type 1, sorry. Now, maybe some students, they know, I mean, the form of conditionals, Miss Fidan, but sometimes they don't know why to use each type. What is the purpose of using, for example, type 1? What is the purpose of using type 2? And so on. So would you please give the students an idea about first the form and the use of type 1?
Okay.
Please.
Concerning the first condition clause, it contains if clause plus present simple. It gives us will plus infinitive. That means, for example, if you don't hurry, the others will go out without go without us.
Here it's negative, of course.
Yes.
The first one, if you post the letter today,
it will get there by Thursday.
So here we have in the if clause the verb post. What about the form?
The form, when we have if plus present simple post, that means this action could be happen in the futures or now. So this action can be achieved nowadays. If you do that, then the result will be achieved. If you post the letter today, then it will get there by Thursday. So the third example, if he doesn't feel well, he won't go to school. If the first sentence, if he doesn't feel well, that means if this condition doesn't achieve, then the result will not be achieved.
Something won't happen if this condition has not been achieved.
Yes.
Possibly future.
On the contrary, if the condition, for example, in the first example, if you post the letter today, if you send it today, it will get there by Thursday. So something may happen in the future, as you said, if the condition has been achieved. If you send it today, it will get by Thursday. If you don't send it today, if you don't, it won't get there by Thursday. So there is a condition here.
Yes.
In the second example, if you don't hurry, the others will go without us. So the others will go without us if we don't hurry. So we should hurry, right, to go with them. If we don't, they will go without us. So there must be something to happen to make something else happen. That's it. There is a condition.
So they are related.
Exactly. They are both related. And the last one, if he doesn't feel well, he won't go to school. If he feels well, he will go. That's it. Good. So as you said, in the if clause, the form,
here the present tense in the if clause refers to a possible future action. So this action could be happen in the future.
So we call it, it is possible to happen if the condition has been achieved. So we use type 1 to talk about the future. Not about the past, of course. To talk about something which may happen in
if the first condition happened. Yes.
Thanks a lot, Ms. Fidan. Ms. Lama, what about type 2 now?
Well, as we were talking about type 1, we said that it's something for the future. It will happen in the future. But as for type 2, we are talking about an imaginary situation, such thing that is in unreal past. We are just imagining something that could happen, but it's not real. The tense or the form is if plus
Let's have some
examples. Yes, okay. If plus past tense, and in the other clause there would be would plus infinitive. For example, if I had £1 million, I would probably buy a house. In fact, you need more than million.
So you are imagining here.
Yeah, I'm imagining.
It means that you don't have £1 million.
No, of course.
You are imagining something about the present which is not true.
Yes. So these students should know that this situation is not real. It's not going to be.
You are supposing. You are imagining.
It's an imaginary situation.
That's why you do if you have such
I would buy
an amount of money. You would probably buy
a house.
A house. So if I had £1 million, I would probably buy a house.
Because
you should have more than £1 million to buy a house.
I guess so.
Okay.
I guess so. So here we use the past.
Yes.
The past form. A second example. We can start with the second part. If I said it would be awful. It would.
Awful.
If you lost your passport. So imagine you are traveling.
Awful here means very bad. It would be very bad.
Terrible.
Awful.
Yes.
If you lost your passport. Of course. Of course.
So this is an imaginary situation. And another example.
It means that you didn't lose your passport.
But just imagine.
But I'm imagining, I'm supposing something
if it
about the
happened,
present.
yes. And a third example, if I wanted to get fit, it's imaginary thing, I would do regular exercises. So I may start or I may not. I may not start it.
Okay.
Here, so as we said that this
The
tense,
verb in the if clause
yes,
must be
is in the past.
in the second form.
Yes, in the
That's
second
why we
form.
call them second conditionals.
Yes.
We can call them first conditionals, type 1, and type 2 second conditionals. Second
According to the
conditionals
tense
means
of the
that
verb.
the verb in the if clause must be in the second form,
Yes.
in the past simple,
Yes,
and the verb in the result clause
it's with would.
must be conditional,
Yes,
would and zero
would,
form.
Would.
Yes.
And as we said, that it's talking about something not real. It's imaginary situation.
Can we say, Ms. Lemon, that this case, for example, when I say if I were rich, I would buy a big house. Is it possible? Can we say that is it possible now?
Not
It's
now,
possible
but
now.
it could be.
It could be possible in the
In the
future. So
future.
we
Yeah.
say that this second conditionals, we call them not possible now. They are not possible to happen now in the present.
Yes.
But maybe it may happen in the future if the condition has been achieved
I may
later.
work hard and get my house.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, what else? Let's go on. Now, what if we have verb to be? Where,
Yes.
for example?
If I were, this is an imaginary situation again. If I were rich, I would help the poor, for example.
Okay.
So this is not, I'm not rich right now, but if one day I am rich, I will do so and so. So this is an imaginary
So
situation
here you are
again.
imagining what you would
Yes,
do if you were in someone's
In a different situation.
shoes
Yes.
or in someone else's place.
Yes.
Yes.
Or we can say if it were me, I would do so and so. So here I'm supposing something to happen, but it's not the reality. I'm not in that situation yet.
Yes.
Maybe I will be one day. Okay. That's why we call it an imaginary situation. So it's not for the past. No, it could happen in the future, but right now it's not possible.
It's not possible now.
Yes, of course.
Yes. So here, again, we use if I were to imagine what we would do
In the
if we were in someone else's
we-
place
we
or
can
if
read-
your situation was different.
we can read some examples.
Examples, yes.
Yes, if I were you, I'd apologize to my parents for having bad results in the exam. So if I were in your
I'm
situation,
trying to advise my friend
Yes.
here in this
What to do.
situation. If I were in your place, if I were you, I'd apologize to my parents for having bad results in the exam.
or if I
Because
were
we hope
rich,
that all our dear students get high marks and
high
good
marks,
results.
wish so.
But it's just an imaginary situation.
Yeah.
And
what
if-
about the next one?
If I were rich, I would buy a new car.
But in fact, in
I'm not
reality,
rich.
it means that I am not rich.
I can't
so I
write
can't
it.
buy
Yes.
a car now for
Yes.
the time being. I may buy a car in the,
the
future if I get, let's say, a good amount of money.
Yeah.
If I
So-
become rich in the future.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's everything about type 2. Now, Ms. Fidan, thanks, Ms.
Thank
Lema. Let's have some exercises. We have done, in fact, one exercise. Of course, in the exam, the final exam, students in grade 9 should choose the correct form of verbs.
Between the brackets.
So here, all this exercise is about the conditionals, the first type and the second type.
Okay.
Would you please try to do the exercise and try to clarify why we choose each one of these two choices between brackets, please?
Okay. Choose the correct form. I will phone you if I arrive or arrived early. In the first clause, I will. If plus will, then we are going to choose the present simple, which is arrived, not arrived. So
Why?
it is the first conditional clause.
Because why do we choose or should we choose arrive but not arrived here?
Because we have will at the beginning of the
Because we have
sentence.
will,
That's why we have to
so
choose
it is type 1.
type 1, yes.
That's it.
Example number 2. If you told me a secret, I wouldn't tell or won't tell anyone. So we have will and infinitive or would plus infinitive. in the beginning of the sentence, if you told me the verb told is at the past tense, that means we are going to choose the verb would plus infinitive. So we are not going to choose won't tell, we are going to choose wouldn't tell anyone.
Wouldn't tell is the correct
So it depends
answer.
on the beginning of the sentence.
Yes.
If it is will, then I'm going to choose the present simple. When it is would, then I'm going to choose the past, or vice versa.
Yes.
When it is past, then I'm going to choose will, or when it is present, I'm going to choose will.
Good.
If am or were you, I would apologize to the teacher for being impolite. In this sentence, the two words in the bracket, am and were. You cannot,
to be.
yes, we cannot say that after I would apologize, that means would plus infinitive. It means at the beginning of the sentence we are going to choose past. So I'm going to use were instead of am.
Good.
The next one, if I were rich, I would buy or will buy my parents a new car. So in this sentence, at the beginning of the sentence, we have if I were rich. We have past tense. Were is past tense. So I'm going to choose will plus infinitive, which is the second answer. Will buy. The next one, if I am or if I were a doctor, I will.
The second example, the first example, if I were rich, I should use, of course, would buy, right?
Yes.
I should say, if I were rich,
past
I would buy
would
my
buy.
parents a new car. Why? Because it is an imaginary situation, where here, in the if clause, so we should use would and the zero form. Next one.
If am or if I were a doctor, I would treat the poor. So in the second sentence we have I would treat the poor. Would plus infinitive. That means at the beginning of the sentence we should have the past tense, which is were. So I'm going to say if I were a doctor, I would treat the poor.
Okay.
The next one, if I have or if I had a computer, I would surf the net. So at the second sentence, I would surf the net. Would plus infinitive. That means at the first sentence, we are going to have past.
Had.
Yes.
Why?
Had.
Because in the result clause, we have would surf. So it is a conditional case.
Conditional,
so
yes.
we should use had, but not have, of course.
Yes.
Now,
So there is always a hint that can help the students to know how to choose the correct answer.
yes. Thank you very much, Ms. Fidan. Well, dear students, in fact, we have another, let's say, grammatical skills, Ms. Lama, which is, I think, in Unit 8, maybe. Here, it is mentioned in Unit 8, I mean the future, the two forms of the future. We can use two future forms. We have will and zero form, and we have be going to and zero form.
Yes.
Of course, there must be some differences between the two forms, but both of them can be used to talk about future. For example, I can say, I will visit my aunt tomorrow, and I can say, I'm going to visit my aunt tomorrow. Of course, there must be a difference between the two situations or the two sentences.
In the meaning.
Of course, maybe in the meaning. When I say, I will visit my aunt tomorrow, it could be a sudden decision. It means that I have made my decision
right now,
at the time of speaking.
Yes.
Just now. But when I say I'm going to visit my aunt tomorrow, I'm sorry, I can't go with you to the zoo because I am busy tomorrow. It means that I have a plan. I have made my decision before I speak.
Yes.
I have an intention before I speak.
Yes.
So this is the main difference, I think, between the two forms. Let's start with the first form, Ms. Lama, please.
How do we make the future simple tense? Now, as you said,
before we go on, sorry, Ms. Lama, I think we have a call. Reem, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Reem.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I have a question.
Okay.
Please.
Your question, please.
Page 65.
What book? Which book? Is it the student's
number
book?
5.
Okay. Is it student's book or activity book? Which book, Reem?
Hello?
Is it
What
Excuse me.
page?
Is it this book, Reem? Is it this book, the student's book?
Or this
or
one?
the activity book? Which one?
Activity book.
Good.
Page what?
Activity book, page 65,
Page
question number 3.
Page 65. Okay.
Yes.
Let's try to
65,
find it, please.
exercise.
Page 65.
Yes.
Exercise.
3.
Sorry?
Number 5.
Exercise number 5. Okay.
Well,
What
it's
about
something.
it? Would you please read the question? Can I see it?
Yes.
Answer.
You can
Make
put it here on the
nouns.
table. Thank you. Make nouns
I
from
have-
these adjectives and verbs. Okay, choose the correct endings and write the nouns in the table. So, your question: do you need us to do the exercise for you? Reem,
Repeat it, please.
do you want us to do the exercise for you?
Does she need this
Yes.
one?
The number
Angry.
5. Tomorrow we are starting a new project. The teacher told us.
Okay.
So-
Angry. What is the noun from angry? Angry is an adjective, right? Right? Reem.
No. More. Question number 3.
Number 3, you said
3.
number
Report.
5.
Report.
Okay.
Reported.
Report.
Report.
Report the following sentences using the correct time or place reference. Okay, let's start with number 1.
Okay.
I'm going shopping this afternoon. She said, of course here, Reem, you have the verb said, right?
No.
Said. Is it in the past simple or simple present?
Present continuous.
Past. Said. The verb said, Reem. Said. Said. Is it in the past or in the present? It is verb 2, right? Reem. Reem. Can you hear me?
I don't hear.
Okay.
Please.
Listen from the telephone, not from the TV. Okay? Listen to
Okay.
me from the telephone,
Okay.
please. She said, okay, now you are the speaker, Reem. You are talking about her. A girl said, I'm going shopping this afternoon. When you want to talk about her, what can you say? You have to say, she said, and I becomes she, right?
She's reporting.
I'm going becomes past continuous. She said she was going shopping. Okay, instead of using
Then,
this,
number
you have to
5,
say
tomorrow.
that. Okay.
Number 5. Tomorrow we are starting a new project. The teacher told us.
Number 5.
The teacher told us that we were starting a new project the next day, the following day. Or you can say tomorrow, it's okay. If you are reporting a sentence for tomorrow in the same day, you can use tomorrow. But if you report this sentence, for example, after a week, so we don't have tomorrow now. You have to change.
The next day.
You have to say the next day, the following day, okay? The day
Okay.
after.
We're changing the
So
noun and verb be.
In student book.
we're starting, we were starting. It becomes we were
Yes.
starting. Okay,
Yes.
what else?
In students' books, the stories مطلوب يعني.
Which
Stories, optional one, the
page?
optional
What
one?
page?
She needs this one, the optional
no,
story.
no.
Stories page text
No.
95.
No,
94
it
and
is not
95.
required. No, Reem. It is not required for the exam. It is optional.
Yes.
Would you please give me the
Optional.
book? Here. It is optional. Look at this word. Optional.
It's
So it is not required for the exam. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Do you have another question, Reem?
No. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks for your call. Good luck. Thank you. Well, let's go back.
Well, back to
the
the
future.
future. How do we make the future simple tense?
Okay. Let's talk about the
I'll
future,
start.
please, Ms.
Okay.
Lim.
We have the first form, which is using will.
Yes.
We use the subject, auxiliary, which is will, and then the main verb. I will give examples. I will open the door. Or you will finish before me. And even with third person, with singular person, we still use will.
Yeah.
She will not be, this is negative form. So we have to add this not after will.
course.
She will not be at school, and the main verb is always here infinitive. We will not leave yet. In the question form, we have to start with the auxiliary, and it will be like this. For example, will you arrive on time? Will they want dinner? So this is the first form using will. This is the form. And if we want to talk
why
about...
do we use this form now?
To tell,
Why do we use
tell,
will and the zero form?
Yeah, to tell our plans for the future. Now we are talking about something we are going to do in the future. And here, how do we use the future simple tense? When we use the will form, if we want to talk about something which is not planned previously.
Before.
Yes. So we have no plan, and now we are going to do so and so. We use will for actions we decide right now.
Just now.
Just now, at the moment of speaking.
At the time of speaking,
yes.
at the moment of
I
speaking.
have no previous plan, so it occurs to me now, and I'm going to do something. I'll do so and so. Example.
Let's have another example. Let's say when Reem called us, we are free here in the studio. I can say, Lama, I'll answer Reem.
Okay.
Okay, so I have
Sudden
made a
decision.
sudden decision.
Yeah. Yes.
I have no plan
Before that.
I have no idea about Reem's call before. So when Reem called us, I can say, I'll answer this question. Right? So it is a sudden decision.
So will is for the sentences which we intend to say that we have no previous plan. It's happening right now. For example, we are working and we are so tired, and I suggest that I'll make a cup of tea. This is not a previous plan. I can give examples. I want to write, but I don't have a pen. This is a situation. This is a situation I am in now, right now. So I will use it. The form of the future, like, hold on, I'll get a pen, okay, to solve this problem, which is happening right now.
Okay.
And we can use the will form for prediction. For example, I can guess what's going to happen. I have no other idea. I have no previous idea. For example, we use will so to predict the future. I look at the sky and I say it will rain tomorrow. And or I feel a little bit. Yes,
you
I'm
are predicting.
I don't know if it's going to be.
You are expecting something about the future which may happen. You are not sure.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
And for example, I can guess that if I feel a little bit hot today, I can say the weather will get hotter. It won't get colder, but it's just a guess.
You are just predicting.
Yes. It might not be the truth. So this is how do we use will for the future. For no plan, for prediction. And in these two situations, here we can use the will with negative form, or for asking questions. As I said, if we want to make it negative, we have to add that not.
It won't rain tomorrow, for example. It won't
for example,
rain. Will not. Becomes won't in short form.
Abbreviation, yes.
Okay.
That's all for future with will.
Thank you very much. Okay, Miss Fidan, now we can talk about the second form of the future, which is be going to plus zero form. Would you please give the students an idea about it and why we use it?
Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the form. I am going to buy a new car. We have a subject, then we have the verb to be, then we are going to have going, after that the infinitive, then the rest of the sentence. We have a short form or an abbreviation for I am, which is am going to go swimming. The next one, he is not going to take the exam. Here
it is a negative form.
Yes, it is a negative form. We have here the helping verb is not am. So with I, the personal pronoun I, we use am as a helping verb. And he, we have is, plus not in order to form the negative form. So he is not going to take the exam. It is not going to rain. So it could be, it is not or isn't. So we have two forms, a short form and the main form.
Yes.
We can go talk about the affirmative sentence. Are you going to paint the house? So we have the auxiliary verb are, then we have the personal pronoun you, then going to paint the house. So first of all, we start with the personal pronouns I or he, she, it, or we, you, they. Then we are going to have be plus going to. The verb to be depends on the personal pronoun. We can use am with I and is with he, she, it, and are with we, you, they. The negative form is going to be add, not to the helping verb am, is, are.
We add not.
Yes.
That's it.
After going to, we always have the infinitive form. So we are going to buy, we are going to go. So, and then with the rest of the sentence. Yeah, this is about the form of the going to clause.
Now, the reason why we use going to.
Yeah. The first use of going to is the intention. When I have a plan or I have before
I have decided before
yes, I thought about how to do something in the future, and I'm planning to arrange it and order it. So it is not at the time of speaking. I have already thought about something that I'm going to do it in the future. For example, we're not going to paint our bedroom tomorrow. So before a day, I'm planning that I'm not going to do this action, which is painting the bedroom tomorrow. So I have the intention. It is not at the time of speaking. It is not something sudden. The second use of going to, it is the prediction. When I predict something to happen. For example, the sky is very black. It's going to snow. In this sentence, we have a hint. When I say the sky is very black, so there is a basis tone that I'm going to depend on it in order to predict. It is not out of nothing. So there is a basis tone in order to predict something will happen. For example, he is studying very hard. I think he is going to pass the exam. So there is a hint, or there is a basis tone that I can depend on it in order to predict.
I am certain, or I'm sure that this thing is going to happen.
Yes.
90%.
Yes.
Right?
We have evidence.
When, for example, let's say that I'm watching a match, and I look at the score, I look at the time. For example, we still have 5 minutes, for example, and two teams, our team and another team, and the score for my team, for example, is higher. I can say, I'm sure my team is going to win the match, because we still have, for example, 5 minutes, and we are in a basketball, for example, match, and the score for my team, for example, 120, and the second team is 56, for example, points. So I can say my team is going to win. Why? Because I'm sure, I feel certain that it's going to happen. When I have an evidence, you mean. For example, when I look at the sky and I can see the sky is cloudy. Oh my God, the sky is too cloudy.
Black clouds.
I think it's going to rain soon. So I feel that I'm certain that this thing is going to happen because
will happen.
I have an evidence, as you said. I have an evidence. So we can use it for prediction, going to, but when we have an evidence, when we feel that we are sure about this thing, that this thing is going to happen 90%, that's it. The sky is very black, it's going to snow.
So we are predicting depending on something.
Yes.
Yeah, we are depending on an evidence.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Fidan. So, as you said, we can use going to talk about intention.
Yeah.
You mean decisions that
I have already planned to do it in the
made
future.
Before speaking, or prediction.
Yes.
With an evidence, of course.
Of course, that is the difference between will and going to. Some students ask about how can I differentiate between will and going to.
Let's have another example. Let's say that Fidan is studying medicine. Should I say she will be a doctor or she's going to be a doctor? Of course, I should say she's going to be a doctor. Why? Because
I've got an
she's
evidence.
studying medicine.
Yes.
So that's it. I should use going to, not will in this case. But sometimes we can say that both are correct because both can be used to talk about future events. But the situation is different. Maybe the meaning is different. Explanation of the situation maybe is different.
It depends on the context.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. What about Ms. Fidan? Some linking words. As you know, dear students, in Unit 8 we have some linking words mentioned. And I think in our previous seminars we have talked about them. We have explained a lot of linking words, even for the baccalaureate, not only for grade 9. But here, this situation, we have some linking words in Unit 8. Let's talk about them, please.
So I'm going to tackle some linking words that we are going to use it when we want to link two sentences together. The first one is when. When do we use when? At the time something else happens. So we have two things or two actions happening at the same time. For example, can you call me when lunch is ready? So we have lunch is ready, and we have the first one, can you call me? Or I can have another example. I will call you when I arrive. So we have two actions, arriving and the calling. When I arrive, I will call you.
Yes.
The second one, as soon as. We use it when we want to talk about something that happens at once.
It means immediately.
Immediately.
Yes.
As soon as I arrive, I will call you. Once you come, you can call me. The next one, until. It means up to a point in time. They played football in the garden until it got dark. So if it doesn't get dark, they are going to keep on playing football.
Yes.
Yes. Before, we use it when we want to talk about something that's happening before another
action. At an earlier time.
Yeah, at an earlier time. Ahmed left his office before we arrived. So, when Ahmed left his office before we arrived, we haven't been in the, for example, the office.
We arrived, but Ahmed left his office maybe a few minutes, few hours, maybe before our arrival.
Yeah.
So this action happened before the second action, before our arrival.
Our arriving.
At an earlier time, yes.
We use after when we want to talk about at a later time. After I finished school, I visited my aunt. It means I finished my school, then I visited my aunt. So we have two actions, finishing the school and visiting my aunt. So the first action is finishing the school, and the second one is visiting my aunt.
Thank you very much. I think everything is clear now. We hope that our dear students now have a good idea about the conditionals and some linking words mentioned in Unit 8. Of course, dear students, we are going to do some exercises in the activity book, but before we go on, before we go to the activity book, we can talk about maybe one or two texts found in the student's book. Maybe at page 56, we have in the student's book an important text which is titled Video Games Addiction. Of course, we can use the laptop. Thank you. The title, as I said, at page 56 at Unit 7, right?
Yes.
Unit 7, sorry. We have a text, as I said, in the student's book, which is about video games addiction. We know, dear students, that most of our, let's say, most teenagers, especially teenagers, students nowadays play computer games, and they use their computers. They spend most of their time, or waste sometimes, too much time on their computers playing computer games.
Yes.
Of course, before we read the text, we can advise the students not to waste too much time playing video games or computer games. Of course, they are entertaining sometimes. They can spend a nice time attracting.
They don't get bored.
Yes, but we advise them not to waste too much time, because when they waste too much time, of course, some problems may happen.
Yes, of
Because
course.
their health maybe can be
can suffer.
affected.
Yes.
Their eyes, they can have headaches sometimes, their eyes, etc. Their arms maybe, their body as a whole. And of course they waste time. They can become addictive to,
Playing
or an
computer
addict,
games.
addicts to computer games. Let's try to read the first paragraph. We can use, as I said, the laptop. Thank you. Can use the laptop. Thank you very much. Would you please, Miss Fidan, read the first paragraph, please?
Yes. Many teenagers play video games from time to time. This activity can be entertaining as well as social. Friends can have an enjoyable time gathering around the game. Playing video games may have additional benefits such as, first, promoting one's decision-making skills and improving one's general well-being. However, some game players may separate from reality and get addicted to playing the games.
Now, let's stop here. Before we go on to talk about some ideas in paragraph 1, we have a call from Isam. Isam, good afternoon. Isam from Latakia. Isam?
Hello.
Hello, how are you, Isam?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Isam, listen to me. Oh, no call. Okay, it's okay. Let's go back.
Okay.
Now, the paragraph here, in the paragraph, it is mentioned that this activity can be entertaining.
Yes.
Why? Why is it considered entertaining or, let's say, social?
Many teenagers find themselves in the middle of a real situation. Maybe just by playing the video games, you are involved in some actions, something which is really imaginative, but it's very interesting.
And
he's
maybe
the hero.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes it has a benefit.
Attracting, you mean?
Yes,
They are attracting.
Yes,
sometimes.
and as what it was mentioned in the text, it can have benefits. It helps students or let's say teenagers to make decisions. You have to fight. You have to collect points. You have to do so and so. So these are the only advantages of such addiction.
Okay. In other words, we can say they are entertaining and social for maybe many reasons. One of the reasons that these video games sometimes need more than one player.
Sometimes.
Right? Sometimes they need more than one player, so maybe 2 or 3 or 4 players together. So
Imaginary
they
ones
gather,
sometimes. Yes.
they gather some teenagers.
Yes.
That's why we consider them social. And at the same time, other, let's say, people can watch and entertain. So they feel excited, they feel happy when they watch such games. That's why we consider them social and entertaining. And of course, Ms. Lama talked about some advantages of the video games. Of course, here, they may have, of course, some disadvantages. What about some disadvantages, Ms. Fidan? I mean, of course, such games train the player to be, let's say, a good decision maker.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Right?
It is.
Because they need sometimes to make decisions. So you have to make decisions. They train the person
all the time.
to make decisions. It is a skill. It is an important skill.
Yes.
So they improve, as it is mentioned, the well-being in general. Now, at the same time, some game players may separate from reality. Why?
Because they spend more hours on playing computer games, so their social relative or so their social relationship with people around them will be limited because they spend most of their day on playing computer games or on watching computer games. That's why their time will be run out and they cannot do something else.
You mean they live in virtual reality
Yes.
and forget everything about the real world.
Yeah.
So that's why we say sometimes they may separate from reality and get addicted to playing the games. They live the games. They feel that they are the drivers themselves. They are heroes themselves. They begin to think that they are the people who are in the games themselves. That's why they become separate.
Yeah, you lose touch with the human beings.
With the human.
Even the
human
players,
yes.
the other players are not there. They are there on the computer, but they are not there in front of them. So there is no personal contact between them. So that's what we mean by saying that he is separating. He's separated from other students.
We said at the beginning that okay, they can be considered social for one situation, which is they gather a group of people together to play the games. Okay, they are considered social because they collect or gather some people. But at the same time,
sometimes
we can consider them, let's say, not good because sometimes they may separate, as we said, some people from reality. So they are not social in this situation.
They are going to focus on one domain.
Yes.
Yeah, without, regardless the other domains, for example, their studies or their relatives, or to go out with their friends. That's why they are going to focus on one domain, just achieving more level.
Yes.
Especially for in some games we have gifts or something like this.
I agree
That's why they promote themselves to do more
Yes.
and achieve more.
Thanks a lot. Now, before we go on, I think it's time for a short break, dear students. Let me remind you, dear students, before we have a break, that you can contact us by using the phone numbers shown at the bottom of the screen. Do not worry, we are ready here to answer your questions. If you can ask any questions you like, not only from Unit 7 or Unit 8. We can answer any questions in both books. Dear students, dear colleagues, let's have a short break, then we can go back. Thank you. Welcome back, our dear students. Good afternoon. Before the break, we were talking about Unit 7, the text about video games addiction. Now we can go on. We have, I think, at page 57, we have an exercise. Miss Lama,
Yes.
it is exercise 2.
Yeah.
Would you please start with the first sentence? We have some words here, in fact. We have to fill in the spaces. We have the words. We can read the
Yes,
words,
fill in
please.
each blank with
Waste,
word
we have
from
the.
list.
Would you please read the words first
of course.
in the list?
Waste, separate, violent, numbness, and
Moderately.
Game players, we have to fill in blanks with these words.
Yes.
Game players may themselves from the real world. As we said, they may separate.
May
They
separate
stay
themselves from
away.
the real world.
It means to stay away from the real
Yes.
world. A game addict usually shows behavior. Sometimes they are violent. So
Good.
they are not as normal people. So the word is violent.
Thank you.
To avoid video games addiction, it's better to play moderately, so evenly, not exceed the limit.
To use your time very well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
not for too long. That's it, moderately.
Yeah.
Playing computer games for a long time may cause numbness in hands. It means that you can't feel your hands. It's just like a kind of...
Numbness.
Yes.
I can't feel them,
Yes.
right?
Teenagers shouldn't waste a lot of time playing video games. We use waste here because we shouldn't waste a lot of time because we have the short time, then we are going to use waste.
Thank you. Now, thank you, Ms. Fidan. Now we can answer or do exercise 3.
Yeah.
In exercise 3, we have 3 questions, Ms. Lama.
Yeah.
Let's take question number 1.
Why
do teenagers like to play computer games?
As we said, they find it entertaining, interesting, and attractive.
Good.
So that's why.
Okay.
We can take it from the text
Yes.
itself. The second
question,
one.
please. How could you know that a teenager has become a computer games addict?
We can see that he's spending much time on playing computer games.
From his behavior or her
yes,
behavior?
from his own behavior.
So what about his behavior?
He become more violent. He's wasting time. And we can look for signs that this person has become a video game
So
addict.
if we want to know that this person is a computer game addict, we can know that from or by watching, by observing his behavior.
So we can
and there are some signs. These signs tell us that this person is a computer game addict.
Yes.
Right?
And
when we say
answer
addict,
here,
what do we mean by addiction?
he can't stop doing
Cannot
that.
stop doing it.
Yes.
So that's why we call him an addict.
Yes.
When we can talk about some smokers also, they are addicts.
They can't stop.
Why? Because they
Stop-
cannot stop smoking.
smoking, yes.
That's why we call them addicts, right?
So
Here, it's the same for
So
playing computer
he can't
games.
stop playing
They cannot
video
stop.
games. No,
They
he
cannot
can't do
stop.
anything else. He can't
Yes.
go on and play anything else. He can't do any sport or go to visit someone. He's staying all the time just playing.
On the computer.
Yes.
Okay. What about question 3, Ms. Fidan? What can we do to help a game addict to be cured? I think it is mentioned in the last paragraph.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the text itself. Paragraph 3 maybe.
Yeah.
As soon as you notice signs of addiction, the stage is yours, Ms.
Yes.
Fidan. You can talk about this.
As soon as you notice signs of addiction on a relative or a friend, seek professional help to guide the person for proper treatment. When an expert talks to the game addict, he helps him to notice the addictive behavior, which may only be a reflection of hidden stress or anxiety. So after identifying the reason...
So I should know the reason.
Yeah.
First of all, I identify the reason for video game addiction. Then I can help the person to gain back self-control. I mean,
By the help of
you can also
professional.
help by setting a time schedule for playing
Yes.
games or replacing gaming with another activity.
Yes.
When I
Hobby.
feel that this gaming is not good for this person, we can replace such playing with something else which is considered useful for her.
Yes.
Right? That's it. Until a video game playing addict receives attention and emotional support, so they need emotional support, they need attention, they won't be free from their abusive behavior. Abusive here means violent.
Violent.
Violent, yes.
He's not
Or
so-
aggressive.
Yes, aggressive.
He is not
with
friendly,
patience and
yes.
care, they can succeed. So we should be patient with them.
Yeah.
We should care for them. With patience and care, they can succeed in solving their personal problems and enjoy playing a game moderately. Moderately means from time to time,
Certain
not too
amounts,
much,
not all the
not
time.
to stay
Reasonably.
or to sit all the time. Yes, reasonably on the computer. I think we have another call. Abir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Abir?
Fine.
Good. You are in grade 9, right?
Yes.
And you are calling us from?
From Aleppo.
From Aleppo. Good, Abir. Okay, what's your question?
I want to ask you about zero conditional sentence.
Okay.
When do you usually use them?
Okay. Miss Fidan can help us. We can use the overhead. You can use a paper, Miss Fidan, please. Thank you. Let's watch. Abir, we can use the overhead. Can we?
Yeah.
The overhead, please.
Concerning...
Not ready. Not ready? Yes, thank you. Now we are ready. Abir, let's take an example. Miss Fidan, can we write, for example, if I have enough time?
Zero.
Zero, yes. If I have enough time,
I go.
I always, comma, if I have enough time, comma, I always visit my aunt. Let's write a nice, another example. If children or if babies are hungry,
Yeah, you have to wait a little bit. My aunt.
Come
Okay,
on.
This is example 1.
they cry. Miss Fidan, you can write the result clause.
No, the
after.
second,
The second one.
sentence was.
This is the second sentence. Okay, if babies are hungry,
If babies are hungry,
they cry,
they cry.
right?
Yes.
So,
Usually.
Abir, are you with us? Abir?
Yes.
Are you with me? Can you
Yes.
hear me? Let's read the first example, Abir. If I have enough time, I always visit my aunt. You see the word always, Abir?
The circle.
Abir,
repeat it, please.
always. Yes, I'm talking to you, Abir. Always. Why do we use always? When can we use always?
For frequent.
When we talk about something which may happen
Frequently.
frequently, right? I mean, it is a habitual action. It is repeated and repeated. It happens again and again, right? Abir.
Say
Abir,
yes.
Abir, Abir. Can you hear me, Abir? Abir, say yes. Abir. Okay. Abir asked us about the zero conditionals. The zero conditionals can be used to talk about facts, sequence of events, I mean. When, for example, if babies are hungry,
they
they
cry.
cry.
If they are
There is
not,
no need to use will here. Why? Because it's something obvious. It will happen, right? If you don't water plants, they die. It's something logic here. We are talking about logic. It's just like facts. We are talking about facts. So when we talk about facts, there is no need to use will. If you boil water, it evaporates, right? If the temperature is below 0 degrees centigrade, water freezes.
Yes.
So it is logic here. There is no need to use will. Again, when we use always or usually or something like that, often we can use the zero conditionals to talk about habitual actions or something which can be considered a routine.
yes,
Right?
facts.
So, facts, sequence of events, something like that. So, in the zero conditionals, the verb in the if clause is in
Simple
the simple present, and the verb in the result clause
Is
is
always
in the
present
simple
too.
present.
There
That's
is no
why
need.
we call them zero conditionals. Okay?
There is no
So
way.
we use them to talk about any time, not only about the present.
Yeah.
We use them to talk about the present, to talk about the past, the future. There is no time here. There is no fixed time. Zero conditionals can be used to talk about any time because we are talking here in general. We don't mention or mean a time specifically. That's it. Thanks, Abir, for your call. We wish you good luck. Let's go back to the text.
Yes.
Here, let's go back to exercise, I think,
4.
4, yes. Here, in exercise 4, we have, would you please read the exercise,
Yes,
Miss
it's,
Lama?
this exercise is going to be match the beginning with the ends
Yes.
using these linking words.
Okay.
As soon as, when, until, before, after. And we have the first, at the first half of the sentence, Ahmed can't play computer games until he finishes his work.
Yes. Number 2.
2, as soon as you notice signs of addiction on a relative or a friend, seek professional help. You have to fetch someone to help him. 3, when an
one?
expert talks,
Which one?
E,
As soon as you notice signs of addiction
on a relative
or a friend,
seek
seek professional help. It means
It's
ask.
E, ask.
Ask for
Fetch
professional
someone
help.
to bring
Yes,
someone to help
yes,
him.
Yes, thank you. What about number 3 now?
3,
Okay, Miss Fidan, it's okay.
When an expert talks to the game addict with B, he helps him to notice the addictive behavior.
Yes.
After spending too much time playing computer games with A, Selma had a terrible headache.
And the
Luckily,
last one.
I stopped playing computer games with C before I became hooked to them.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Fidan. We have another call. Sidra, good afternoon. Sidra?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. My
hello.
name is Sidra Salami
Good, Sidra. Where are
from
you?
Latakia.
Sidra, first of all, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Sidra?
Fine.
Okay. Your question, please.
Is the conditional tense is recorded in our exam?
We are talking about conditional, Sidra. We are here in our seminar talking about conditionals. Of course, they are mentioned in your books and they are required. Of course, they are very important. Of course, they are important. We can, let's say, they may be mentioned in the question for tenses or about tenses, right?
Yes.
That's it. So they are important, yes. We are talking about conditionals. They are mentioned. Everything in your book is required for the exam. Everything. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Do you have another question? No. Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you. Thanks for your call. Okay, let's go back to the exercise. We can go on now. We can go on maybe to
Another lesson.
another exercise or another, yes, Unit 8. Now, in Unit 8, I think we have a number of exercises, but maybe at page, I'm sorry, at page, we are now at page 65, sorry, 60. They are listening exercises. I think it would be a good idea to go on to the activity book, not the student's book.
Okay. Never mind.
In the activity book, in Unit 7, page
Unit 7.
40, page 40, we have exercise 2. Let's try to do this exercise. Let me start with you, Ms. Fidan. Exercise 2, page 40. Write P for a prediction or D for a decision. Complete the sentences with the correct form of will or going to. We know that when we have a prediction, we write P. When we have, let's say, a decision, we write the letter D. Then we use going to or will. Will for prediction, going to for decision. That's it.
Yes.
Let's have number 1 as an example. Let me do it myself. Can I? Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's
I'm
yours.
sure it won't rain. I'm sure it won't rain. The sky looks clear now. It is a prediction. It is a prediction. That's why we write the letter P. Let's take number 2.
Amal is very good at science. I think she will be a famous doctor one day. P.
Amal is very good at science. I am predicting something about Amal. Amal is very good at science. She is still a student maybe, right?
Yeah.
So I'm predicting something about her, right? About her future. I think she will be a famous doctor
might
one
not
day.
be.
I'm not talking about something
No.
in specific. I'm talking about her in general, and I'm predicting something about her. That's why I should use will, but not going to.
Yeah.
She will be a famous doctor one day, so it is a prediction. Thanks, Miss Fidan. Number 3.
What are you going to do when you finish school?
That's it. So
Here, a decision.
it is a decision.
Yes, because I'm going to finish
I'm
school.
talking
and
about
I
something
have,
in specific.
Yes, I have to decide on what I'm going to do after
Yes.
I finish school.
Yes.
So this is D.
You're right. Thank you very much. Number 4.
I've decided I'm going to study French next year, as well as biology. D.
It is
decision,
very
because
clear,
I'm going
because
to
the
choose.
first phrase, in the first glossary, I've decided.
I've decided.
It
So
is
it's
a
already a
decision.
decision.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to study French. I have an intention. I have a decision. I have a
have
plan.
the
I have
willing to
something
do
to do.
something.
I know what I am going to do. Right?
Yeah.
Number 5,
Five,
please.
if we don't hurry up, we won't get to school on time.
It is a
It's
prediction.
a prediction.
I think. Yes.
Maybe someone will come and help us and save us by his taxi.
But I'm
it's
I'm
still,
predicting.
Yes,
I'm
a
predicting.
prediction. So
Yes.
we
Good.
won't get or will not get.
Good. Let's go on to exercise 3. Offer to help in these situations. The first one.
Yeah, we usually
When we offer to help,
We
when
have
offer
two
to help, we
forms
can
here.
use shall I.
Yeah,
right?
I can offer help by using shall I or I'll. Well, when I offer help by using shall I, this is a question form. So let's say the window is too high. Shall I help you?
Okay.
Or I can say
Yes.
I'll help you.
So let's take the first example
Yes.
here, Miss Lama.
This is-
I need help with my homework, right?
Yes, this is
I
for
need
you,
help.
Mrs.
You
Tan.
can say, shall I help you?
Yes.
Or you can say, I'll help you.
This
Right?
is, for
another
instance-
example. I
Yes.
can't carry this heavy bag.
Shall I carry
Help
it
you?
for you or
Shall I help you or I'll help
I'll
you?
carry it. Yes,
Or
of
I'll
course.
carry it for you. It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Why not? So,
So
what
both-
about number 2?
Both
yes,
both
are accepted.
yes.
Both are correct.
Are correct.
Yes.
I would like to close the window, but it's too high for me. As for the answer, we noticed that there is a question mark at the end of the sentence, so we are going to use the question form, which is
I'd like to close the
shall-
window.
Yes, but we
You can say,
but here the answer should be in a question form. Shall I close it for you?
for you,
Yes.
or
If it
Of course,
were a full
because it
stop,
is a question.
Yes, if it were a full stop,
And
I can say
I'll
I'll
close
close
it
it
for
for, and it's the
Yes.
same. It's
But
correct.
it is a question.
It's a question. That's why we use
Shall I close it? I
shall
should start with shall,
Yes.
with the auxiliary
Yes,
verb.
this is the only difference between them.
Yes.
You can use either this or that,
Yes.
the same one, but be careful for the
Thank you. The question
question
mark.
mark.
The
Yeah.
question mark.
yes, question mark.
Good. Thank you very much, Miss Fidan.
Number 3, grandmother needs someone to do the shopping for her. I will do the shopping for her. In this exercise, we have an affirmative sentence. That's why I'm
It
going
is
to
not
use.
a question.
Not a question.
Yes.
So I cannot start with shall here.
Yeah.
I have to say I'll,
Yes.
right?
I'll
do the shopping
For-
for her, right? I'll
Number-
do the shopping for her.
Again,
And the
number
last one?
4. I'd love to learn speak German. I speak German, and there is a question mark here. Shall I teach you, or shall I
Shall I
help
teach you? Shall I teach you? Shall
Yes.
I help you? It's okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, let's go on to exercise 5 at page 41.
41.
Please. Here, it's very important for the students to distinguish between the linking words and to know how to use them, especially in any context,
Yeah.
right? In any text. I mean, let's have this text here, exercise 5. Here the student should circle the correct word, the correct linking word. I didn't know, Miss Fidan, you
crab.
can start,
Sorry.
or Miss Lama, it's okay.
Never mind.
Okay. I didn't know a crab could climb a tree. As soon as, or after, or until. Here we use until. I read it in a book. So in this sentence, I didn't know. So the time before I read this book, I didn't know that a crab,
Could climb a tree. I had no idea before.
Yeah, that's why we use here until.
Until I read it in a book, not read. Until I read it. Why? Because
I
it is
didn't.
in the
I
past.
didn't
Yeah.
know. Yes,
Right?
I didn't know.
Thank you very much. Before we go on, Miss Fidan, so here you said we should choose until,
Until.
not as soon as. You're right.
Yes.
Your answer is correct, of
Thank
course.
you.
Thank you. Now we have a call, maybe Ali. Good afternoon, Ali.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Fine.
Ali, you are calling us from?
التاسع.
Good. Ali, what is your question?
I want to know if there is another senses of conditional sentences that are required in our exam.
In English grammar, Ali, we have 4 types of conditionals. The zero conditionals, we talked about them.
Zero.
The first conditionals and the second conditionals. Of course, third conditionals are not required from you.
So only first
What
and
is
second.
required from you is only 2 types. Type 1 and type 2, as it is mentioned in your book. Okay?
Type 2.
Type 1 and type 2, that's it. 2 types, 1 and 2.
2.
Yes, it is required.
He wants to explain. He
Type
wants to
2.
explain
We
type
talked
2.
about it. If I were rich, I would buy a car. It is type 2. Okay? Ali,
Okay.
it is mentioned in Unit 7. Okay?
Okay.
Go to Unit 7. You will see the type 2, the second type of conditionals in your book. Yes, it is required. Do you have another question? Ali? Ali,
Okay.
do you have another question?
No, thanks.
Okay, we wish you good luck. Thanks for your call. Goodbye. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go back. Miss
Back
Lama,
to
please.
the crab. This kind of crab is called coconut crabs.
It's amazing. This kind of crab is
sorry.
called a coconut crab.
It's amazing.
Okay.
So
Now,
I have to read.
number 2 now.
Yeah, it's a good idea to read the full sentence before
Yes.
choosing
Of course.
a word.
Of course.
Before, when, or until it gets hungry, it climbs up a palm tree. So
When does it get hungry, or what?
Yes.
When does it climb up
When it
a palm
gets
tree?
hungry.
You should know when this crab climbs up a palm tree. Of course, he climbs up a palm tree
When he feels
he
hungry.
or it feels hungry,
Yes.
or gets hungry, right?
Yes.
So we should choose when here, not until, not
Yes,
before.
so it's good idea to read the full sentence before
course.
choose
course.
anyone. Okay.
Thank you.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Before, until, after. It gets a coconut, it cracks it open with its claws. So here we have to use after. After it gets a coconut, it cracks. So first
Because he
has
cannot open it
without
with its claws
without picking it.
without having it. So it should first get the coconut,
and then
Yeah,
open
and then
then
it.
it can open it with its claws, right?
So?
The crab, I mean.
It doesn't
Number
wait.
4.
It doesn't wait until as soon as before it gets back down to the beach. Well, it doesn't wait until it gets back. As soon as he gets it, he opens it. So this is until, number 4.
Okay. Number 5.
as soon as, after, or before eating the coconut, it starts eating. So we have to choose before eating the coconut, it starts eating.
Yes.
We have number
Number 5 was linked to number 4.
5, yes.
So it's a full sentence here.
It is the second
Yeah.
clause.
Yes, the second clause. It doesn't wait until it gets back down to the beach. As soon as, here are the choices, as soon as, after, before eating the coconut. So the choices is
as soon as.
as soon
As soon as.
It
Before
starts
we go
eating
on,
as soon as it
Now,
picks.
yes,
this is
it
a
starts
new-
eating
Once it's
as soon
as
as
soon
it
as
picks
it
the
gets,
coconut.
yes.
Yes, the
Yeah.
time, at the time of.
now the final
That's it.
one.
Thank you. We have another call, maybe Ragad. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Ragad?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. You have a question, Ragad, right?
Yes.
Your question, please.
What is the difference between I will and I'm going to? Can I use them for the same situation as for meaning? Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's really a good question, but we can say, if, let's say, we have this sentence in the exam, I will visit, or I'm going to visit my aunt tomorrow. When we have such a sentence, both are correct, Ragad. Grammatically, they are correct. I can say, I will visit my aunt tomorrow. I can say, I'm going to visit my aunt tomorrow. So both of them can be used to talk about the future. But of course, the situation is different. When I use will, it means a sudden decision. I have made a sudden decision. But when I use I'm going to visit, it
I've
means that I
decided
have
that.
made this decision before I speak. So it is a decision made before speaking. It can be considered an intention or a plan. For example, when Fidan asked me, would you please, can you go with us to the zoo tomorrow? Well, Fidan, I'm sorry, I can't go with you because I'm going to visit my aunt at the same time. So I have a plan, another plan. I'm sorry, I can't go on with you, with your plan, because I have my plans.
Yeah.
You see? But when I have nothing to do, and we are at the same time together, for example, someone needs help, I can say, I'll help him.
Okay.
It is a sudden decision.
Yeah.
You see?
And students usually have a hint to decide on the meaning.
But in the exam, of course, when we have such sentences, I don't think that we will have such two choices together. There must be a situation which is very clear.
Unless
right?
we have
should
a
have another maybe clause with the first clause to clarify to the student that here we have a prediction. And here we have, just
Decision.
like the exercise we have just done it,
Yes,
it's the same situation. If there is a context and the situation is very clear, the student here in this case can use, he can distinguish between them.
Yes.
He should be able to distinguish between them, in fact, will and be good.
There is an evidence to make them
when we have a prediction and we have a decision. That's it. Let's go on. Thanks, Ragat, for your call. We wish you good luck. Let's go on to maybe exercise number 6.
Yes.
Here in this, let's read the rubric here.
Yeah.
Miss Lama, please.
Rewrite the sentence pairs as one sentence. So we
the
have
rubric, let's rewrite the sentence.
Rewrite the sentence pairs as one sentence. We have to join, to link these two sentences as one using the words.
The linking words.
The linking words.
Okay.
The first one is an example. Is it for you or for me?
It's okay, you can read it, why not?
I'll stay indoors. It hasn't stopped raining. And the linking word is until. And I will rewrite the sentence in this way. I'll stay indoors until it stops raining. So until is here in the middle.
Thank you very much.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Promise you will phone me and tell me as soon as you get your results later.
Good.
So we have
Promise you'll phone me and tell me. The second sentence, you get your results later.
So we have to use as soon as to link the two sentences. Promise you will phone me and tell me as soon as. So once you get your result, you have to
in the middle.
Please
call me.
Yeah.
Between the two sentences.
Tell me about your results. That's
Yes. Number 3, I'll come out with you. I finish work at 5 o'clock, and we have the link word which is after. Of course,
I can't come out with you
until
if
I finish.
Don't finish my work.
So
when I
after
finish or after I finish my
work at 5 o'clock, I'll come out with you.
Good.
Or we can keep it the same way.
I'll
I'll come
out
with you after I finish work at 5 o'clock.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 4, you can wait here until it's time for you to go home. I think here we have some mistake. It is not. We have to, it has to be, it's time for you to go home. It's not, it isn't time for you. Please correct it on your book.
Or we can change, it's supposed here to change the sentence using this linking word. So the statement is here, you can wait here. This is the first sentence. The second one, it's not time for you to go home. So I have to change the full form. I will say, you can wait here until it's time for you to go.
It's not time.
Yeah, of course.
So here there must be a change.
Yeah,
right?
I have to change it because
change
the meaning,
the negative form.
The negative meaning is
you can wait here until it's time for
yes.
you to go home.
And here the negative meaning is included
It
in
means
using
until it's time, until it is the suitable time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
not suitable now for you to go home.
Yes.
You cannot go home now. So you have to wait until it's time to go home.
Yes.
That's it. This is the meaning of the sentence.
Yes.
Thank you.
Number 5, I'd never seen her. I met her. Sorry, I met her at the conference. So before.
I'd never seen her before I met her at the
Yes.
conference. We
It's-
know that the past perfect is used to talk about an action that
action
happened
and the
before
past.
another
Another
action
one which is in the past.
So I
Yes.
had never seen her.
Before
this is number
I
one.
met her.
I didn't see her. Then I met her at the conference.
Yes.
So we should use before in the
Before
middle
in the
here
middle,
to
yes.
connect or to link the two sentences.
Yeah.
Thank you. Number 6, the last one, Miss Fidan, please.
I'll phone you when I get to the station at 4 o'clock. Here we use when. So at the same time, I will phone you when I get to the station. Once I get to the station, I will phone you.
Thank you. Now we can go on to another exercise, which is at page, maybe not exercise. Here, in fact, at page 42, we have 3
Text.
texts here.
Yeah.
It is necessary to talk about, let's say, to have a conclusion about them or an idea about these 3 texts. In the first text here, can water go bad? Of course, can water go bad? It is a title, it's a nice title. In fact, we can directly say that,
Yes.
of course, water can go bad if it is, let's say, stored in an open container,
Yeah.
right? Or for a long time, maybe, right? Because it is open, the container is open, so water can go bad if the container is open. Why?
Unless
Because
some
some,
chemicals have been
Because some
insects can
chemicals, some
come
insects,
into
Yes.
other
the
tiny
container.
organisms will make their homes in the
in that
water.
water.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why water can go bad.
Go bad, yes.
You won't want to drink that water, of course,
dangerous.
because
It
it
becomes
becomes dangerous, not clean,
harmful.
not
Yes.
clean. So it can also go bad in a closed container, not only in an open container,
Yes.
unless chemicals have been added to
stop-
the water. That's why sometimes we add
Yeah.
maybe chlor, maybe sometimes
Yeah.
to the water.
Yeah.
Why? To kill maybe some organisms which may spread or live in the water stored in closed containers. So it's okay, water can go bad in an open container and it can go bad in a closed container.
Yeah.
But
It
when we
wasn't
store
stored.
water in closed containers,
Yes.
we should add
Some
chemicals to
yes.
kill maybe the
bacteria
organisms.
to stop them from forming.
Yes, that's it.
From
That's
the
it.
very beginning.
So if you add chlorine, as I said, or iodine, it will stop
bacteria from forming.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. What about lightning now?
Can it strike? It's
Miss
dangerous.
Rama,
Yes, it can.
strike you when you are indoors?
Yes,
when
some
you are
facts.
at home?
Yes, some facts say that yes, they it can strike you when
How?
you are indoors. Sometimes when you are using your mobile phone, you can get stuck by the lightning. Sometimes while you are bathing, the electrical shock will reach you, and it can kill anyone, not you. And sometimes when you are using the phone, the landline, even when you are using them,
when there is a lightning storm,
you have to
you're
avoid these
advised not
electrical-
to use the phone.
yes,
And not
Any
to be in
electrical-
the bath or shower.
Yes.
Not right?
Yes.
Because
Because-
lightning can strike metal pipes.
yes,
And cause an electric shock, as you said. So it's best
to
to stay
avoid
away from computers
Yes.
too. Anything that
any
can carry
electrical
an
device
electrical charge from the lightning to your
to
body.
your body.
So it's better to be away. Miss Fidan, thank you, Miss
Yeah.
Selma. What about icebergs?
As you know, nowadays we have a global warming. So we have the ice on
What do you mean by global warming? You mean that
the increasing of
the
temperature.
earth is getting warmer?
Yeah.
The temperature is rising day
Yes.
after day?
Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay.
As you know, nowadays days are going to be hotter than before,
Yes.
and that's why the ice will melt. And when the ice
Melts.
it means the sea level will be
Will rise.
will rise.
There will be a rise
Yes.
in the sea level.
Yeah, and
When the sea level rises, what happens?
it
Will
means
be
it is,
flooded.
we have
Many
some
areas near the coast
will be in danger.
flooded,
Yes.
maybe, right?
Yes,
In danger.
Many cities
Yes.
will disappear.
the coastal
Can we-
one.
Yeah.
What can people do at this case? In this case,
In this case, they
You can move on to
a higher
places
level.
maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the rise in sea level will have a dramatic effect on coastal cities and towns all over the world.
Yeah.
As I said, they will be flooded maybe.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's try to do exercise 1 about the 3 texts, please.
False sentences.
Read the text and decide if the sentences are true or false. Miss Lema, please.
Number 1, if you store water in closed container, it will not go bad. Of course, it's false. As we said, it can go bad.
Number 2, chemicals can be added to water to stop bacteria from forming. It's correct. True.
Number 3, it isn't dangerous to use a phone during a lightning storm. It's false. It's dangerous.
Number 4, if you want to have a bath, it's better to wait until the storm is over. As we said, we have not to have a shower
You
when
should not
it is
have a bath or shower
Yeah.
at the time
when
of
it is
light, when there is a
lightning
lightning.
storm.
Yeah.
Yes.
When there is a lightning storm. Or where there is lightning. Okay.
Number 5.
So it is true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5, please.
Number 5, any electrical object can increase the danger of injuries by lightning. Yes, it's correct. True.
Number 6, if we don't try to stop the earth from getting warmer, sea levels will rise in future. That's correct. So
Good.
it's true.
Number 7, rising sea levels won't be a problem. It's false.
Thank you very much. I think we have only just one exercise before we finish. I think it is at page maybe
Activity.
number, yes, in the activity book, page 46, 46, yes, maybe,
It's a text.
47,
48.
48, 48. It is a choice. It is to choose. Not 48,
No.
page 50. Exercise 5, please. Exercise
Yeah.
5, I think it is very necessary to do this exercise before we stop. Circle the
Exercise.
correct word or phrase. Number 1, please.
I'll phone you until as soon as I arrive. And we will choose as soon as I arrive.
Yes. Number 2.
I always brush my teeth before
Of course,
I go
before
to
I
bed.
go
So
to
because-
bed, not as soon
Yeah.
And
as.
as soon as.
3.
I hope I manage to see you before you go on holiday.
Good.
After a few hours, I got tired of playing video games.
Not when, because after when we
After
use a
playing-
clause, we need a subject
Yeah.
and a verb. So when here is not correct.
As
Yes,
soon
number
as or when, of course we have to choose when. When you see him next time, tell
Tell
her
her.
I said hello.
6.
Do we really have to wait until July to visit them?
So you have to wait until July to
Yeah.
visit them.
Till that time.
Not before. Okay, thank you very much. That's all for today, dear students, dear colleagues. We hope that we have, let's say, covered most of the important points in Unit 7 and in Unit 8. Well, dear students, dear colleagues, I'd like at the end of this seminar to thank you for watching us, for following us, and I'd like to thank my dear colleagues in the studio, Miss Lama Halloum
Thank you
from
very much.
Latakia, and English supervisor from Latakia. Thank you very
Thank you
much
very much.
for
Thank
your
you.
participation. Miss Fida Muhammad, this is the first time. Thanks a lot for your participation. An English teacher from Damascus. We wish you good luck. Thank you very much. Dear students, till we meet in other seminars, we wish you all the best. This is Basil Sadek speaking from the Syrian Education Channel from Damascus. Thank you very much. Goodbye.